Hello friends, my name is Vivek Sharma. Today we can cover this interesting problem that's called find all the lonely nodes. So we have been given a binary tree, and the definition of lonely node is a node that is the only child of its parent node. Okay. The root is not a lonely node because it does not have any parent node. So in order to check whether it's having the corresponding sibling or not, it should have the parent node, right? If it is having the parent node, then we can check, okay, if it is having the sibling or not. If it does not have the sibling, then it means it is a lonely node. We can go ahead and return these lonely nodes in any order, right? So these are the examples. Let's quickly check the constraints. So constraints is number of nodes will be in the range of 1 to 1000. Each node's value is between 1 to 10 to the power 6, right? So in between 1 and 10 to the power 6. All right. I copied this example. This is the first example. What is the lonely node here? If we go one by one, so this is the root. Root is of course not lonely node because it does not have any parent node. It should have the parent node to be eligible for the lonely node, because if it does not have the parent node, we cannot check the sibling. All right. Now let's check for 2. Is 2 is the lonely node? No, because it is having the sibling 3. So it is also not the lonely node. Is 4 is the sibling is 4 is the lonely node? Yes, 4 is the lonely node because it does not have any sibling. So basically it does not have any sibling. It means 4 is the eligible lonely node. All right, coming back to example number 2, of course root is not lonely node because it does not have the parent. 1 is not lonely node because it is having the sibling, that is 4. 6 is the lonely node because it does not have any sibling, right? So it does not have any corresponding sibling. Again, 5 is the not lonely node because it is having the sibling 3. 2 is the lonely node because it does not have any sibling. Moving to this example, 11 is the root that does not have the lonely node. 99 is left child. It is not lonely node because it is having the corresponding sibling, that's 88. 77 is a lonely node because it does not have any sibling here. 55 is again lonely node because it does not have any sibling here. 33 is again lonely node because it does not have any sibling here. Similarly, 66 is also lonely node because it does not have any sibling here. 44 is also lonely node because it does not have any sibling here. 22 is also lonely node because it does not have any corresponding sibling node. So I hope the idea is clear. I mean the problem is clear. In this particular example, if root is 197 itself, what will be the lonely node? Empty. Why? Because it does not have any parent node, right? It does not have any parent node, and parent is null here. So if parent is null, what does that mean? So this is null, right? So if this is null parent, so parent is null, it means it's root node. If it is root node, it does not have any sibling. So for example, if parent is not null, let's say it is like something 3 or something, right? Then we can check, okay, what is the sibling? So sibling is not there, then we can say, okay, this might be the eligible lonely node, or it can be the lonely node, but this is not the case right now. So we need to return empty. So this is the problem. Now coming back to the implementation, how we are going to solve this problem. So let's move step by step. Okay, so let's say we start from root. We will just implement it the way that we understood it, right? So we will start from the root. We will check, okay, we can start from the root, and then we can check, okay, what is the left and right child, and we can again check the condition. Okay, if left is not null, then we can again make this for the next iteration. We can just store somewhere this 2 for the next iteration. If right is not null, means 3 is not null here. In this case, right child is 3, so this is not null. We can again store this for the next iteration, right? How we are going to do this? So clearly we can see this is first level, this is second level, this is third level. So we can apply here the label order traversal. What does that mean? That means is a breadth first search mechanism, right? So in the breadth first search, what we do, we start from first level, we go to the next level, we go to the another level till we find the bottom level. So that's how we breadth first strategy works. So here we can take the queue data structure, right? We can start our search from the root node, we can go to the next level, we can go to the next level. So let's create the placeholder for that first of all. Okay, so first of all we need to take the output list. Let's take that result, new array list. Base condition, if root is null, go ahead and return empty list. All right, let's take the data structure called queue, tree node, queue, new linked list. All right, queue dot off for root. We will start our search from root, so that's why we are storing root to the queue. If queue is not empty, right, then what does that mean? We will just go ahead and poll from queue, right? So queue dot poll. All right, now let's check if node dot left is not equal to null. Queue dot offer node dot left. All right, and if right is not equal to null, then let's go ahead and insert right node to the queue. So right now I am not populating any result here. You will be wondering it is like dummy still null empty list. So that's fine. But I just wanted to create the placeholder here for the breadth first search strategy. That's it. We will store from the root node. We will just go, okay, we will check, okay, left is not null. Just again insert that left node. If right is not null, let's insert that to the right node to the queue. Then again check in the same manner, left is not null, let's insert to the left node to the queue. If right is not null, let's insert that right node to the queue. That's how we will just keep inserting and keep polling label by label. So this is ideally label order traversal. In this mechanism, what we can do, we can put our logic of the lonely node as well. What is the logic of lonely node? We can just check, okay, if left is null and right is not null, it means this right is lonely node, right? Similarly, if left is not null and right is null, then it is the lonely node. And if left is null and right is not null, then it is also the lonely node, right? So if uh, the words are confusing, then this code will be little simplified. It will not be that much complex, right? So if node dot left it equals to null and node dot right is not equal to null, what does that mean? It means node dot right dot well, because it is integer, that will be the lonely node, right? So if right is null, then this left is lonely node. If left is null, right is lonely node. Pretty straightforward, right? So now let's apply the reverse logic. Left is not equal to null, right is null, then result dot add node dot left. Let's go ahead and put to the result. All right, and finally, after building the result, let's go ahead and return it. Complexity wise, time complexity will be order of n and space complexity will also be order of n. TC is time complexity, SC is short form of space complexity. Let's quickly check and compile whether it's working or not. So it is integer, so I need to use the dot val here, right? This is not tree node. This result is type of integer, not tree node. So I need to use the val, that is the integer value. So looks like this is getting compiled. Let's quickly submit if it is getting to work or not. So looks like this is working. Now a couple of optimization I can do it here, right? So right is, if we observe here, we can remove like couple of boilerplate code from here, right? So node dot right is not equal to null and node dot right is not equal to null. This condition is same, right? So maybe we can just merge this condition to this block itself. Let's go ahead and do that. So oops, node dot right is not equal to null, and then we will just include this check here, right? And we can check, okay, if node dot left equals null, then what we will do, we will do result dot add node dot right dot well. That's it. Similarly, what we can do here, we can do the same thing here as well. So left is not equal to null, then we can add another check here that's called if node dot right is null, then let's go ahead and then just add node dot left, that is not null, and that is a sibling, that is the basically lonely node. Sibling is node dot right and that is null, right? So node dot left dot well. Very good. Let's go ahead and remove this code as well, and let's check if it is going to work. So this is going to compile, it means it should work. So this is like just to remove the boilerplate code. All right. Now this is like breadth first search strategy. Can we solve it by recursive approach as well? Yes, we can do it. We just need to use the recursion. We will be just exploring all the left children, all the right children, and then we need to somehow need to know the lonely condition. That's it, right? So here it's straightforward. We can check, okay, if left is not equal to null, right is null, it means this left that is not null, that is the lonely node, right? So we are just straightforwarding populating our result. In the recursion we need to do the same thing. And also before moving to the recursion, just quick check on the complexity. So we are storing all the nodes. We are just, we in the worst case we need to go through each and every node here. So time complexity is order of n is the number of nodes here. Space complexity is again order of n linearly, right? Linear complexity, because at every level we are just storing the queue number of the nodes. So whatever the maximum number of the nodes at any level, that will be the space complexity, right? So in this particular case, like 3 nodes are the maximum. So 3 is the space complexity. Basically, the maximum 3 number of the nodes that can store, queue can store at one point of the time, right? So and basically because we calculate asymptotic complexity, so we are not going to calculate each I mean exact same complexity. So if it is like approx we are getting the idea of complexity, then it will be the linear, again order of n. So but n will be the maximum number of the nodes at one level, at any level. All right, now moving to the recursive approach. Let's go get rid of this code here from here. So if I get rid of this code here, I will still be creating the same output list, right? New array list here. And also I will be applying the same recursive template as well. So what does that mean, recursive template? We just explore the left child all the way to the left. We just explore to the right children all the way to the bottom, right? And then we apply this lonely logic. We don't know at this point how and what will be the logic, but let's start. Okay. So okay, so this is the result. Let's say I am having the helper method that's called lonely nodes here, root result. And because this is the root, and root cannot be lonely node, so let's say I'm having the flag that's called is lonely or not, right? So let's say initially this is false because of the root node, and then go ahead and return result. Let's assume that this lonely nodes is basically our setting, right? This is setting our lonely nodes, right, by recursive approach. So let's go ahead and let's create void set lonely nodes here. So this is tree node root list of integer result. Let's take this boolean. So boolean is called is lonely or not. All right, now what will be our base condition? So the base condition would be like if root is null, then let's go ahead and return from here itself, right? Because it's void, so I will be just returning nothing, so return and then semicolon. Now as I mentioned, in recursive template we just explore all the way, all the left side, root or left result, right, and is lonely, right? Similarly we will just do the right side. So generally in the recursive approach, what we do, we just go through all the left children, and then we just after going through the left children, coming to the bottom, we just start traversing the right side. We start from the root, go all the way to the left, we go all to the way to the left, and left is null, it hit the base condition, then it comes back to its parent, and then it's check to the right, it hit the base condition, it comes back to the 6, then it will go back to the 1. Left is already been traversed, it will check, okay, what is the right, it is null, it will come back to the its parent, it will again come back to the 7. Left is already been traversed, so it will go to the right side, and then again it will go to the left side, left, and then it will go to the null, hit the base condition, it will come back to the 5, it will go to the right, it is null, it will hit to the base condition, it will go to the 4, left is already been done, then it will go to the right, it will check the left is null, then it will go back to the 3, so it will go to the right, and then right it will check, okay, what is left is null, come back to the 2, it will go to the right, it is null, it will hit the base condition, it will come back to the 2, and then it will go back to 3, go back to 4, go back to 7, and all whole tree has been traversed. So this is very quick overview of recursive, that this is how ideally all the recursion works for the tree, and that's what exactly I'm doing. I'm going all the way to the left. Once it hit the base condition, it will return from here. It will traverse to the right side. Then once it hits the base condition, then it will basically after right, then it's going to the all the way to the left side, right? So that's what exactly it's doing. Now here the question is like when we need to when we need to populate our result. We need to populate our result if lonely, if lonely is true, then we will just go ahead and result dot add. We will just go ahead and put root dot val. All right. So for this root, if lonely is true, then we will just collect that root value, right? Now if we are just going to the left side, right, then we need to make sure that left is not equal to null. It means right is should be null, right? And if right is null, then that will be the condition for the left child, right? So what we need to do initially, root dot left is not equal to null and root dot right equals to null. In that case, root dot left will become lonely node. So that's what we are doing. Similarly here, root dot left equals to null and root dot right equals to null. So in fact this will be right is not equal to null and left is equals to null. So in this case root dot right will become lonely node, right? And that's what we are collecting it here. So I think this is the same logic that we used again earlier in the iterative approach, in the breadth first search approach. In the recursion also we are using the same approach, and that will decide that whether it's a lonely or not. So when we are passing root dot left, then it makes sure that root dot left is not equal to null, and root dot right, it means its sibling is null. So if its sibling is null, right, then means root dot left will become as a lonely node. Similarly for the root dot right, if its sibling is null, that is the root dot left. If it is null, then basically root dot right should not be null, right? So it should be not null. Then in that case it will be lonely node. Let's quickly check whether it's compiling or not. So it's getting compiled. Complexity wise, basically it will be time complexity linear, space complexity will also be linear, that is n is the number of nodes here. Why it will be there? Because in the recursion we are just going all the way, so we will end up traversing all the nodes. Space complexity also, basically in the recursion implicit stack is getting used here. So in the implicit stack will end up storing all the nodes in the worst case. Let's for example we are having this kind of a tree, right, that is looks like a linked list, right? So in that case space complexity will uh, keep storing all the nodes, right? Because in this, if it is like in this situation it is not look like linked list, then basically stack will store all these nodes, then will keep popping, and then it will just basically store right side of the node. So whatever the maximum number of the basically height of the tree, that is the number of the nodes it will keep storing, if it is like kind of the balanced tree. But if it is not balanced, then it will storing all the nodes. So we just consider the worst case scenario here. So the worst case will be the number of nodes, n is the number of the nodes, and that will be the space complexity here. Let's quickly check if it is getting compiled or not. So it was already, sorry, I already checked it earlier, it was compiling. So it's submitting. So this code is also working here. Now further optimizing, we can optimize here little bit. What we can do the optimization, so root dot left is not equal to null, that we are checking here, right? So we can get rid of this first condition. Why? Because we are checking if it is not equal to null. It is unnecessary, because in the base condition we are just making sure that it is not null, right? So root dot left we are passing, and then root dot left will come here into the recursion, and it will be checking, okay, if it is null, then it is going to return from here itself, right? So I think we can safely remove this condition. Root dot left is not equal to null, and we can safely remove this condition as well. Root dot right is not equal to null, right? Because that is getting covered by the base condition. Now let's check and compile. If it is getting fine, let's go ahead and submit this, and if it is working, then we are good. So I hope this is useful. Quick summary: lonely node is the node that does not have any sibling. In order to check that, we can adopt two approach. One is the iterative approach. We will just go level by level. We will start basically first root node, we will store left and right node, and then we will apply our logic. Whether it's left is null and right is not null, then right will become lonely node. If left is not null, right is null, then left will become lonely node. So that's the logic we will apply in our iterative approach. Okay, in the recursive approach, we will just similarly we will just copy paste our recursive approach. First of all, we will just go all the way left, and then we will just traverse right side as well. So this is the template for the recursive. And root equals to null base condition, that we will just going ahead and return. We just need to identify the lonely condition. So that condition will also be the same that we used in the iterative approach. And that condition was again the same. If left is null, right is not null, it means that is the right, that is the condition for the lonely node for the right child. If left is not null, right is null, then that is the condition for lonely node of the left child. So I hope it makes sense. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye.